AI leader or short squeeze magnet. NVIDIA's volume is insane. These levels matter. So let's go ahead and talk about the overall fact that obviously NVIDIA had a very bearish day today in which it collapsed from 189 all the way down to 185. This is actually a very bullish thing overall when we look at the fact that this is a prime place to buy this asset to go back up to retest the high. So the first variation that we need to be aware of for tomorrow is going to be the fact that we get some sort of twin variation in which again we look to now rotate the full distance underneath this whole thing all the way back up to this prior high, which is somewhere right around that 190 and a quarter level, okay? So for the bulls out there, this could be very advantageous because if this does work, then obviously you're going way up to the upside. However, for all the bears out there, it's pretty much as simple as seeing this market collapse lower, okay? Now, we'll have to collapse significantly lower. It can't just be a small amount. But if we do pick up steam and go lower, maybe even a gap down in tomorrow's session, then okay, we're definitely now bearish. And in that bearishness, we're looking to sell pullbacks to eventually rotate back down to the prior low, which is the second variation you need to be aware of. Now, this variation is a little less likely, but it's definitely on the table for tomorrow. Now, other than these two variations, I think it's very important to note the third circumstance, which is a little bit unique in the fact that we could find ourselves in a range in the formation of happening, okay? Now, if we do end up ranging down at this low, just be aware that we are overall bearish in the range, so it's far more likely to fake out, break out to the upside as the market now looks to rotate now to the downside, which is the, most obvious and prevailing trend that will happen in this scenario, okay? Now, with that being said, there is a caveat because there is a secondary range that could also form. And because we are so oversold, I think it's an opportunity to be bullish. Now, it's going to look very similar to that of the last range in which we're just consolidating. But instead of breaking up and going higher, we're actually going to break down and go lower. Now, because the overall momentum is extended, this range is more likely to look for a twin variation in which is going to rotate now all the way back up to the prior high and actually extend the full distance of the swing. So in this circumstance, really briefly, let's just assume that this is the midpoint right here. We would look for the whole distance underneath this midpoint to be the example of what we're looking for above that, okay? So there's a whole bunch of stuff to be had, so rewatch this video so you can make some cash trading NVIDIA. Thanks for watching. See you in the next candle.